Hey everyone, welcome to another session of product walkthroughs. Today we're taking a look at Teleport Me, which is a product that allows you to create virtual tours through 3D photos. So you can actually showcase like your place, your client's place, and allow visitors to your site to really take a 360 virtual tour through a venue, through your customer's shop, whatever it takes, right? So I'm not the best person to really talk about this product, but we have today with us the founder of Teleport Me, Vineet, to really share more about the product. Hi, Vineet.
Hey Donald, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, good. So, right, I'm not gonna bore everybody with too much small talk. I'm gonna hand it over to you to basically talk more about the product. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you take over the screen sharing. So
Sure. Here we go. All right. Basically what I wanted to talk about, Donald, today was, and to the community is, one is about the product. We've been on the AppSumo marketplace for a while, for about 2 months. We've been doing really well. But there has been a lot of questions about what the product is, what the use cases are. And I thought today would be a good opportunity with you, Donald, because I think you run an agency and you would have questions as to how a virtual tour product, which is not a very common product that you will see on most deal sites. I think we are the first virtual tour SaaS product. It would be, it would be interesting for me to go through the use cases for you, as well as why Teleport Me is a great platform for your viewers. So to start off with, I think virtual tours have gained a lot of momentum in the last 6 months because of COVID. A lot of businesses have started reaching out to us, and our business has gone like 300x in terms of its visibility and customers and so on and so forth. And one of the reasons why we are doing these deals, or coming to your customers, is because we believe that this is now a great opportunity for agencies to create a separate service stream. You do websites, you do SEO, you do videos, and similarly, virtual tours would be something that you could provide to your customers. Teleport Me by itself is one of the most stable, most well-known SaaS products in this space. We've been doing this for about 11 years. One of our key things that a lot of our customers buy us for is our ability to display high resolution virtual tours. So, once you start learning more about the market, you'll realize that there are a lot of Me Too products. There are a lot of people who will be selling your similar service using those products. But in the end of the day, the thing that will distinguish a client and agency's product as opposed to yours would be how good it looks. And that has to do with the resolution of the tour. So that's why a lot of people use our product. The other reason probably is because we are the only company that has dedicated iOS and Android apps. These are really, really important for capturing, sharing quickly, and just having access to the panoramas on the go. So these are kind of like the salient product features, right? So in terms of use cases, and we can have a discussion around this. It's like why virtual tours today, and like how it can be used for you guys, right? So I think from an agency perspective, depending on your client base, if you have any brick and mortar clients, any kind of brick and mortar clients today are looking for virtual tours. And I've listed some of the top sort of categories. Real estate obviously is an obvious category. Schools and education, universities, they are a very, very high margin category because you can set it up once and you can put a recurring revenue on it very easy. Most universities are more than willing to pay. Interesting fact here, Donald, is when we started the company in 2011, our first major client outside India was NUS and NTU from Singapore.
Okay. Interesting.
So we were one of the first, back then we were the ones that had their virtual tour. I don't know if they have, they have it. I don't think they have it anymore because we shut down that business, the service side of the business.
Sure.
And So, and we made a lot of money on that. I think we made close to about maybe $25,000 on one virtual tour.
Right.
Uh, and then you have hotels, short-term rentals, so on and so forth. So I think, as an agency, Don, like,
Hmm.
how can I, answer some of the questions you have? Like, I'm happy to do it.
Right, right. Okay, maybe I just have a few questions, right? Right off the
Sure.
bat, the iOS and the Android apps, right? You've mentioned that it's a dedicated apps. So what does it do exactly? Like, is it can it be used to capture footage? Is it just for use for editing the tours? Is it used for viewing the tours? Is this meant for the end users of the virtual tours, or is it meant for the person who is setting up the virtual tour?
I think it is all of it. The only thing that we don't have is capturing the spherical panorama. So there is no app that lets you capture good spherical panorama. There's only one app that lets you even capture a spherical panorama. Spherical panorama has the top and bottom. What we
Right,
have is cylindrical panorama, which a lot of companies use still. A lot of uh, businesses that don't need to buy and invest in a 360 camera. They just use our app, they create the virtual tour, and it's more than enough for a university, a nursery, a school, or whatever it is.
right,
Interestingly, a huge amount of our customers are nurseries.
right, right. Can I? Do you guys have the app on your website? We could take a look at it,
Mhm.
or is it available
Yeah,
as a screen? Maybe we can take a look at it.
uh,
Yeah, because that
the
wasn't something that was like that came true to me when I was initially looking at
right. So when you I'm gonna log out of this,
yeah,
but
sure.
um, so this actually the main product that we had before COVID was the apps. So if you go to the Play Store, um, this is the app. We have about 15 million downloads on this app, as you
Mm,
can see here. Um, Close to 105,000 ratings. I wish our rating was a little bit better. Um,
yeah, no worries.
it's a very, very difficult product to build. We are the only panorama app that actually works on both platforms. There's literally nobody else. It's us
Right,
and Google. Um, that's it. These are the two products that work on both platforms. Um, so it's a very,
right,
very difficult product to build. And this is one of the reasons why we have so many customers, because people all around the world are able to use the application to capture the panorama. And now, in the past 2, 3 years, you have all these Ricoh, but these are all 360 cameras. These are not capture within the app. So if you are from, say, from a third world country, or a country where most of your customers don't really care or don't want to spend, $200, $300 on a virtual tour, you
yeah,
can just give them a nice cylindrical tour and it'll look pretty good. Like I can show you some examples too. Like they look quite good. It's not that bad. It's just that you can go up and down.
sure.
But they give you the entire thing. So
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, and that may be like for some folks that may be good enough, right? Because like if you think about it, at the end of the day, we are maybe like servicing real estate agents, and yeah, the amount they earn on per deal, right, is only so much, right? And then they may not want to like pay for the full work. So a quick and easy solution maybe something that's good, and it's nice to see that it's built into into an app, right? Nothing beats like having the ability to just whip out your phone and start shooting. So does the app connect to your account for Teleport Me?
Yes. So there are three basic functionalities that would be interesting for somebody who wants to sell virtual tours using the app. So one is the capture. This second is the connection to the virtual tour platform itself. That is the desktop platform where you can create the virtual tour.
Right.
And the third is the connection with the 360 camera. So we have inbuilt connections with pretty much every 360 camera that allows you to connect, and which is probably 80% of the market. I think the only camera that does not allow you to connect is the Insta360. Other than those, everybody lets you connect. So we have connections with that. So if you have a 360 camera and you
Right.
want to easily just download it and send it to your account, it's almost like a 2-click process. So most
And
of our
mhm,
customers, what they do. So uh, if you once you get a 360 camera, you'll understand that a 360 camera does not have geolocation. Most of
Right.
them don't have geolocation. So what they do is then they use the app, they download they capture the panorama, they download it directly on their phone, they geotag it, and they send it to their profile. So now you have the geotag of that panorama. So then when you want to publish to Google Street View, it becomes so much more easier.
Right.
Um, so that's like a super cool feature that probably no other platform has.
Right. So if for in terms of like use case, right? So if today I'm wanting to kind of like maybe get my skin in the game, right? Obviously the Absolute deal allows me to start offering the service as a with a kind of like low cost base, because the software allows
Yep.
the software allows me to, yeah, I get the software with the deal, right? But what are we looking at in terms of like hardware cost for a 360 camera? I mean, I know that we can use the app for a just whip out and shoot. But let's say if we really want to kind of go a little bit more serious, right? What are we looking at in terms of like cost for a good, like a fairly decent 360 camera?
Right. So I think there are two ways to go about it, right? So I think if you want to just get your kind of beak wet, if you may, you would want to buy probably a mid-range 360 camera, which will go anywhere between $250 to $300. Once you get that, then our app, both our iOS and Android app, plus our platform should be more than enough for you to sell uh, a virtual tour worth $500, depending on obviously which part of the world we live in. Um, so I would say $300 is where a good 360 camera would go for. But if you look at it, if you are a digital agency, you probably have access to a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or something of that sort, because
Yep.
photos are such an important part of any digital agency service that they have that. And if you have a DSLR, it would take you uh, literally no money, probably some money to buy a stitching software, um, probably about 250 again, but then you don't have to buy extra hardware. So depending on the kind of agency you are, I would say that an extra maybe $300 would have to be spent in gear and kind of additional kind of editing software for photos, so that you can provide the service to your client. Yeah, I would say
Cool,
that
man.
about $300. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So it's like so if I have a DSLR, that would be like I can use the DSLR photos, right? But I would just
Oh
need
yeah,
to use a
yeah.
stitching software to stitch everything together.
I think there are free softwares to do it. I think the PDGUI, which is the best, is about $60 or $70.
Cool, man.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
a one-time fee, so it's not even so. You just LTD buyers would love it.
Yeah, man. I mean, cool. If you have the resources for these things, man, feel free to let's put that together for the people who are watching this video.
Oh
So
yeah.
that they can know how can I get started. So one of the things, like one of my like bugbears for, and I was just like on the chat with one of the SaaS companies one of the SaaS products I'm using, right? It's just like don't you guys have a way for users to get started using your product in the least frictionless way possible? Which is like, hey, um, you started using our product, right? These are like 20 steps you can do right off the bat. Just follow these 20 steps, right? It's kind of like foolproof, right? You don't have to think too hard about it. Just follow these 20 steps and you'll be able to get at least like 70% of the value of the product right off the bat. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just saying that, like, like product owners should really make it easy for people like me who are like super lazy, right? To really like use the product, make it get sticky with it, right? And so give me all the information I need to, like, oh, step one, buy this, okay? Step two, do this, right? Step two, three, do this, right? Step four, this is how you can start going about doing this.
Right.
Like anything you can do to kind of like make the user of the product, right, or first time user of the product, right, not have to like dig through like knowledge bases to like find out, oh, okay, yeah, oh, this is how you use that. So I'm just ranting here, right? but yeah.
No, I think no, you have to rant, and I think this is something that I also ask from a lot of software providers. Unfortunately, I have fallen into the trap of a new customer base, right? So generally, our customer base really knows what to do. Mostly, our customer base have been photographers, very few marketing people. So or very few agencies,
Yeah.
because most of the time there wasn't enough volume where, or it did not make economic sense for an agency to use this as a separate revenue stream. So they would just, if they ever got a request, they would just call up a photographer, and the photographer would do everything. So that was generally the way it worked. But today, again, because of COVID, we have so many agencies that want to buy the software, because they believe that they can easily sell it to their clients.
Right.
And we don't have, and you're right, we don't have a how to get started for agencies, and we should probably get that done before we get on the select program.
True,
So
man.
I
True,
think
man.
about right here how
Yeah.
to
I
get
mean,
started.
I think about this, right? Like, for example, I'm in a few Facebook groups, right? I mean, I'm in a few Facebook, I mean, like hundreds of, okay, never mind. Yeah, but like I'm in a few groups whereby there are freelance photographers, freelance videographers, kind of like experiencing a dip in business because of COVID and everything. This product can actually, be really useful for these folks, right? Freelance photographers, they really have the DSLR camera. The product could help to open up a new revenue stream for them. So I mean, but of course, like some photographers are like who are not used to the idea of virtual tours, and you got to make it easy for them, right? To kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, just do these 10 things, you'll be set. So again, yeah, but again, like I would just kind of like say that product owners should just kind of like not get too obsessed about features sometimes, and just really look at how do you kind of like make the user experience like super frictionless, right? I know like one product that does this really well, and if you ever like gone through their onboarding, right, is like ConvertKit. Gotta say that their initial onboarding, the way they bring you through their product is really kind of like seamless. They just make you. I mean, they're just very good at making you like use the product. But anyway, I let's not let's not go about that. So again, like yeah, one thing I think maybe we can do for this video afterwards is just really try and gather the some resources for people who can. This is how you get started using the product.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put up something, and then when you're sharing this, let me know. I'll send it to you, and then you can just share it with it.
Sounds awesome. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe let's continue with the presentation, and I think let's get into the crux of the app too, so we can take a look at how the product works.
Okay. So I think what I'll do, I mean, I wanted to speak a little bit about the company, but I think we've talked about it. But let me do the demo now, right? So the demo of what it looks like. So essentially, you have three main parts of the product. One is the tours, the panoramas, and the brands. So for agencies, you would think of your brands as your customers or clients, where you can go and you can adjust. You can create a new brand, and you can adjust all the settings that you want, and you can save it. So
Right.
I've just made a couple of brands here. This is the podcast I run, so it's just a brand.
Sure.
And the other part is tours, and then the other part is panoramas. So panoramas are when you upload directly from your apps, it'll come all on the panorama side, and then you can move it from the panorama to the tours,
Right.
right?
Got it.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a tour very quickly, and I can then show you what the sharing mechanism is, the embedding mechanism, how to get your clients to show the tours on their websites. And then I'm going to wrap it up with maybe some like cool features that we have that are different from most other products. So is that okay?
Yeah, sure, man. Let's go ahead.
So let's create a new tour. It's really simple. Tour name, let's do MarTech. Description. Again, here, if you have a certain client, you can ask them you can use a form. So a lot of our customers have a form. They say what your brand colors are, and then they just input that into the brand kit. And then you can just over here select what brand you want. You're creating. So I'm just going to use default because that's the default of Teleport Me. You can select public, private, unlisted. These are very self-explanatory. Unlisted is you can only see it if it has a link. So I'm going to create unlisted right now, and then you hit create. What? This is embarrassing, but let's try this. Oh, it logged out. Oh, I was scared a little bit because I had logged out to show you the. I had logged out to show you this thing, and so, oh, I was a little scared. So it created all of this. I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me? All right. So once you create the tour, you can kind of upload it. Just select the panoramas. It's going to take a while, but there you go. That was a very scary moment. I thought, what's wrong? I realized that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Well, that's something that we have to take care of. If logged out, your message. Yeah.
True. So now it's I mean the tour is built using the panoramas, the stitches, right? It stitches the panoramas together.
Yeah. So the virtual tour is basically like a presentation software.
Right.
So that's how I explain it the best, right? So you have all of these things. You have the panoramas, you have the logos, you have the videos, you have the photos, you have the URLs, and people use a lot of different ways to customize their virtual tour.
Right.
The virtual tour is just like a presentation software. The main building block of it is the panoramas, and then you can add a lot of things on top of it. So, for example, now once you have uploaded it, you can do a couple of things. You can kind of reorder them, based on how you feel the flow of the tour should go, like how the person should move. And then you can save it. Right. So then you click edit. It takes you to the editor. So here is rendering the panorama. Then you can see these are like really high resolution. I mean, what I mean by high resolution is like, this is not compressed in any way. This panorama itself is not very high resolution. So it may look bad, but it's not compressed in any way.
Yep.
All right. So now over here, you can again go here, change your brand settings. This is important. I always tell people to make sure that your thing is ready. I'm going to move this here. All right. So this is your basic tour. And even if you share this, if you kind of share this, it'll come off as a nice presentation, and you can a lot of people actually just use this. So now if you want to create a virtual tour, which is kind of a presentation thing. So what you would do is you would add something like called as hotspot. So you add the hotspot here. You can add another hotspot. This. And now these are basically links to the other room. So you can
okay.
Just kind of link it. Tap on this, link it, enter the label, bathroom, link this, bedroom. Right. And all of these are customizable, based on the brand you use. So you can change the color. I'm just trying to show you what all can be done.
Sure.
And you can increase the size, decrease the size, however you want to do it. Now, one cool feature we have that probably you won't find in most features is something that we call as the floor icon. So in your mobile screen, which is probably 80% of where it's going to be seen, you can imagine that these spots look really big. So we always recommend people to use the floor icons. When you hit the floor icon, it kind of compresses it. So you can put it there so that it looks like it's kind of going into the, it's on the floor.
Right.
Okay. This is a cool feature that not too many products have. Now, you can do also other things like annotation. So for example, you want to say this is a couch. You can go here, you can add a hotspot. And instead of a panorama, you can just do text. You can say, this is a great is it there? And then you can add other things like images, sound, so on and so forth. I can go through the whole thing, but that's kind of what it is. So for example, if I want to link it to audio, I can just choose an audio file. I can upload my own audio files too. We are going to add a lot of ambient sounds that are going to come through by the end of next week. So you can just use like traffic or forest or chirping, whatever you want.
Cool, man.
And you can add images, URLs. So I'm just going to add a URL here. So HTTPS. Let's do what's the MarTech thing?
What do you mean?
What's the MarTech website name? MarTech?
MarTechWise.com. WISE.com. Yep.
Go there. Let's see. Okay, go start. So we have a nice little like testing tool, so you can test it, and then we can go to website, right? And then you can change the icons. So over here we have a lot of default icons. You can add your own icons. So if it's a website, a URL, I would say maybe this one.
Yep.
Again, you can reduce the size a bit, make it. What's the MarTech brand?
Yeah, something like that. That's good.
And yeah, I mean, so you can just kind of, it's like a presentation software, right? So now you've added the links to different places. Now you would go to the next one. So for example, I can change the name of this. I can say living room. I can add this living room is 200 meters square. Oh, that's a very, very large meters square. I can do things where I can adjust the zoom settings. So for example, depending on how much of the zoom I want, I can move it up and down. So let's say I'm happy with somewhere here. And now once I do that, I can apply this zoom setting to the entire tour. So I can hit apply tour and hit save. So now all the panoramas will kind of look similar. The other thing I can do is pitch. So for example, some people don't want people to go up or down because sometimes you have like this, you have this tripod. So some people just limit the pitch so that you can't go fully down. The other thing people do is add a nadir. So you add a nadir, select an image, select this image. So it kind of adds like a thing here on the bottom. You can just kind of cover it.
So, is that like a tripod or something?
It's a tripod, yes, yes.
Oh, okay. For the 360 camera.
Yes, yes. So generally, a lot of people will kind of use a blurring tool or something and blur it out. But if you don't want to do it and you want to put your branding on it, which also some people just want to put the branding, so you can just add your own logo here. So that's kind of what it's used for.
Oh, man.
Right. So then you can add sound. I think I already added. No, I didn't add sound for the panorama. So you can add sound for the panorama itself. So over here, I have a hotspot. So generally, like maybe this could be the voice of the realtor telling people what this thing is, what this product, what this space is. Whereas sound for the panorama or the tour. So you can put up sound for the tour or for just the panorama is, again, like I said, it's a presentation software. So you have all of these options to make it the way you want to make it.
Sure.
And then, yeah, I think I've gone through most of the kind of key important positions. The other one is probably initial position. So I can select my initial position to be this way so that when the panorama opens, it looks here. Now I go to the next one and so on and so forth. So I just kind of connect all of the panoramas together so that, this is here, so I can just I don't know. I'm just going to create like very quickly a couple of them. I can do this again. There you go. And now here I can use like a floor icon, and I can connect it to the first one. So now it'll go back here to the first one, and the first one will come back here. So that's pretty much like all the kind of functionalities as such. And then you just build it, and then you sell it to your customer. So in the sharing section, uh, we also have a certain amount of flexibility in how you can share it. One is you can embed it on any website, and we allow also like unlimited redirects. So there is no need for a CNAME or anything of that sort, because this is not a like a CRM product, or it's a no product that anyone's going to log into.
Yeah.
So you can just put MarTech Y/virtual tour and do a redirect to your teleportme.com/virtual tour link, and it'll just open over there. You don't really need a CNAME functionality. Uh, you can get just a link. You can get an MLS link, which is very useful for the US. So that basically an MLS link takes out all the branding and everything. So it's very, very bare bones, but it has all the movement and the info on it.
Right.
And obviously it's shared on social. In this sharing part, we have a couple of great features. One is, you can select what embed size you want.
Right.
You can save it and then just copy that code. The other thing you can do is you can change. So you remember when I created the tool, I used the default brand. So now if say I want to change the logo to, maybe try this, right? It's really bad though. But I can change the logo size.
Got it.
Just very basic stuff.
When, just a question, right? When you share it on social, right? Let's say you share it on Facebook, right? What does it? What does it get shared as? Is it like a separate link that people will end up going to, or does it become a native part of the Facebook experience, for example?
This is I think this is a discussion for some other day. But Facebook is basically, they started off being extremely friendly for 360 content. But slowly what's happening is 360 content is becoming so important for their business that they start rendering it uh, natively. So a virtual tour will be just shared as a link. But there were times where initially in 2016, 2017, you could share a virtual tour and it would render the virtual tour in like a proper virtual tour. And they have the functionality, they just don't want to do it. So it will be shared as a link. You will see it as a 360. There'll be an icon and all of that stuff, and you can choose your thumbnail. So you have the ability to choose what thumbnail you want. You can upload a new thumbnail, or you can choose between the panoramas itself.
Right.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah, because I thought it would be like pretty cool. Let's say, for example, it could be shared natively to the Facebook, right? Then we could kind of like boost that post and use it as an ad. So you could like, if I'm a real estate agent, I could just kind of like post the entire virtual tour natively into Facebook, right? And then boost it as ads, and I could just use it to sell my listings, right? Right from
that would be good. I think if Facebook ever does that, that will just make your life so much more easier. Because the reason I think why they stopped doing it is because people were posting so many virtual tours because the ads became extremely engaging, and but I don't know why they took it off. I think maybe they made a strategic decision, but it was really it was one of our best growth months. This is July 2016. I'll never forget it. July 2016 to maybe I think September or October 2016 was just, it was nuts, absolute nuts. But then they disabled it.
Cool, man.
But I think they will come back with it once Oculus comes into play, once VR is more important if the pandemic continues.
Mm,
I think having a software like this is always going to help you because Facebook is moving towards VR and 360 content. So
right.
this is all going to be a huge requirement for Facebook.
But Vinny, I think you're a little bit far from your mic. I can't. You're a little bit soft.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, better now.
Okay, cool. All right. So I think so. This is, shows all. I mean, you can just play around with it and look at what you like, and then you save it, and you just copy the link, and then you know, and yeah. So this is the virtual tour. Yeah. So you can add
Cool, man.
music, and then
Yeah, looks
click
good.
this, it goes to the other place. Obviously, I haven't linked this stuff, but you would.
Yeah, no worries about it. But it looks
And
good,
then
man.
it opens up your website, and then you can also add like YouTube links, and you can embed a YouTube video straight into the product.
Mm,
Uh, so it's just it's kind of a presentation tool. I mean, that's how I try to explain to people is
got
if you
it.
want to create or so yeah,
Yeah, cool, man. That's
that's
good.
that's the whole demo. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I mean, looking good. I mean, I can see a lot of users for it, right? You could sell this to real estate agents. You could sell this to agencies. This could be, if you're working with property developers or launching new commercial or residential units, you could kind of like use this to do a virtual tour and everything. Um, yeah, yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So I guess let's take a look at maybe we can talk a little bit about the deal that you have up with AppSumo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think the AppSumo right now, we are the AppSumo marketplace, and the deal right now is 10 tours, one brand, and limited space. So we have about 3 GB of space. So that's 3 GB right here. And that's been the biggest issue with a lot of LTD buyers is like, why do you have a restricted amount of uh, space associated with it? So the way I try to explain this to people is that unlike a lot of other softwares, you're not going to create an unlimited number of tours because there are no unlimited number. Like a tour once created for even an apartment is probably going to be used by that apartment person again and again and again. Like it's not like a social media tool where you need to like keep posting new content again and again and again.
Right,
So there is a there are two so that's the reason why we try to say that you don't really need that much space.
right.
And if you do unlimited, then we are putting ourselves in a very precarious position
Yeah,
where every tour that you create is going to loses money.
yeah,
uh,
sure.
so that's the reason for um, the actual like kind of limit on it. Uh, within 3 GB, if you're using a 360 camera, even a high-end 360 camera, you can create up to 17 tours
Mm,
easily. Like you can
mm,
see in an apartment, you don't need that many panoramas. You need like maybe 10 panoramas if you really want to go have 2 spots in every room or any of the corner. So you can really create a lot of tours with even one code. And if you go to our AppSumo page, you'll see that there are some customers that have actually broken it down better than I could have in terms of how you can make money, so much money with the product, because the product itself is $79. Um, and so that's the biggest point of contention. And we do things where like I said, our biggest whole thing is about high resolution, so we don't do any kind of resizing. We provide multi-resolution, and I think that from a value perspective, it makes a lot of sense. uh, Once you buy the AppSumo code, the AppSumo deal marketplace deal is not stackable. So you would buy the rest of the codes from us, and you can go up to 3 codes with us. So that's about 40 tours. And in my opinion, 40 tours is more than enough for any customer. or any client. I've explained this many times, but I have people that have come to us and said, we need more codes, we need more tours, we need more brands. And so, one of the things that I was talking to you guys about was opening up more codes before we go on to the AppSumo Select. So we have been selected for the AppSumo Select program, which is their main program, and we'll be going there Black Friday. So we can open up more codes uh, and provide also, like we're thinking of what offer to provide for people in the marketplace. But I would really highly recommend people that if they are thinking of virtual tours, to go buy one code from the marketplace, just so that they have the optionality, because they can always switch to the select deal when the select deal comes out. But right now we have the flexibility to provide them something more, something better, along with MarTech and marketplace. So that's the only thing that I would tell people is, like, if you're thinking of doing it, just buy one code on the AppSumo marketplace and keep that optionality. And when the select deal comes out, you can decide whether you want to take the select deal or you want to work on the marketplace. That's up to them. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think the deal is really, really simple. Everything else is unlimited, because like I said, it's not a product where unlimited makes any sense, because it's not a multi-using product. I mean, the only place where unlimited makes sense is unlimited bandwidth, which we provide on Azure CDN. So we don't restrict you on that. But otherwise, you're making, depending on which country you're in, even in India, which is where I'm from, and where we have some customers, you make at least $200, $300 per tour. So even with 10 tours in a country like India, you could make $2,000. So yes, there is some work involved in taking the tour, selling the product to the customer, but the ROI on one code or 3 codes is extremely high.
Yeah, man. I mean, you could kind of, if you're entrepreneurial about it, you could basically hire someone to go and do the thing, right? And just go in. Yeah,
Exactly.
and yeah, so you could control the experience, you could control the platform, you take care of the marketing, just get somebody to go and shoot the thing, you can just make your markup from there.
Yeah, and I think that's what I've been trying to explain to people. But the LTD buyers are a little bit, they're used to unlimited, and really making them understand why the space is limited is always a challenge. But the ROI, I think, is evident, because it is not a product that you're not going to make money from. You probably will make more money selling a virtual tour than a website.
Yeah,
because
man.
a website, you can, yeah.
Got it. Cool. That's really, really useful for us. Yeah, man, let's maybe look at how we can maybe put together that resource for people who are looking to, like agency owners who are looking to offer this as a service to their customers. Maybe we can talk about it off the air. Yeah, but this was very helpful. I mean, that this gives us a lot of insight into how things could work. So yeah, man. Do you have anything else? Do we have anything else? Do we want to share with the community today?
I think if someone has reached till here of the video, I would just say, go ahead and buy a code. You have nothing to lose in terms of refunding the code. That's why we work with AppSumo, because it makes refunding and everything very easy and transparent. And so do that. And I really wanted to thank MarTech, because I think you are aware, like, I didn't even know MarTech existed, and someone published our link, and we got connected by somebody saying that, hey, these guys have this great product on virtual tours. And so I think I've been very lucky to be a part of this group, and I hope I can help people out by selling them some virtual tours and grow our business alongside these people, because it's a great group.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's help everyone by maybe putting together that resource. Then, then I think, yeah. So I'm just gonna sum up the deal. So really, guys, if you guys are like offering web services, you're offering marketing services, look at the type of the type of businesses you can use this product for, whether it's real estate, education, or any kind of like place, like like a like a club or some kind of a hospitality place, restaurant, museum, you can use this product for that for those companies. So if why not just get a deal, just get a code, or two, or it's up to you, right? Find a way to use the product, right? Don't just sit on it, right? And then make money out from it, right? So 2020, we're coming to the end of 2020 and looking forward to 2021. Buy a product, make money from it, and then let's all have a better 2021.